Welcome back, 5OF fam. On this episode, I get into a little bit of why we homestead. I get asked all the time, why do you do it? Why do you homestead? What made you want to do it? And I get into it a little bit on this episode and explaining a little bit of why we do what we do. And I'm also in pure planting mode, so you guys will get to see me planting some beautiful flowers for the deck and also getting the onions in before it is too late.
Hi everybody! So today I am in the greenhouse trying to up-pot some of my plants, and it just got super windy, so hopefully you guys can hear me. It is hot in here too, so I'm sweating. But some of these seeds I overseeded because I felt that some of the seeds were old and I was afraid that they wouldn't germinate. Well, in fact, they germinated a whole bunch in here. So what I'm doing now is I'm going to do my best to separate this clump and a couple other clumps into individual cells so that they have more room to grow and they're not crowding and the roots don't come too entangled with each other. I was going to talk to you guys at the same time. So, nice beautiful roots here. My dirt down here. I'm going to try and transfer to new cells. So we are coming up to our busy season of gardening. For us, the homestead mostly, the point of homesteading is to grow your own food, right? Now our biggest source of food that we grow ourselves right now is the garden. That's where a lot of our energy goes and a lot of our time goes. And we do have the chickens, and I have processed a few meat chickens before, but right now we do not have the infrastructure or the time right now to do all that. Alright, so what I did, pulled the one out. Nice long root, and I'll put it in the new cell. Sometimes it's a little bit of a gamble, it might not make it. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Our point of homesteading is to grow our own food. Now this is mostly for us, is for health reasons. Because I do everything organic. We simply just can't afford all organic food. It's just not an option. I think it's becoming less and less affordable for most people. And so for us, it is really just to help the pocketbook out and not to be spending as much. Plus, I really enjoy gardening. I have been gardening. I even gardened in my teenage years, even before we got married. But that was like, just like a small garden. I now have gardened in not a large scale, but larger gardens for 16 years since we got married. It started off small and then gradually have gotten bigger and bigger. At the old property, it wasn't as big though. I will say that. It was not as big as this. This is a whole nother level. But I do have some experience in some of these things. But where am I going with this? Just that the reason we do it is for our food. I think a lot of times people wonder, why would you homestead? Why do you spend all this time? Why spend all this energy when you can just go buy it? Well, there is simply so much joy in growing your own food. Look at this one. This will produce me, this seed, which cost me a couple of cents, will end up producing me now a couple pounds of tomatoes. And for me, that's just almost seems like common sense. Like, that's what you have to do. There it goes. So now I took the plants that were in one cell and now have created them into multiple cells. So that gave me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 plants. And I wasn't expecting to get but one because I thought the seeds were too old. But 7 plants. And I got these seeds for 10 cents a pack. So 10 cents, I have 7 here, plus I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more there. So what is that? 15 plants from 10 cents. Can't tell me that's more economical than shopping at the store. It's just so satisfying. And I definitely need to think things out a little bit better. I should come out here in the morning when it's cooler because I am starting to sweat really bad. I have a couple more that are in, this one's probably too small to move, but I should be able to separate these two. I also have pruned these ones back. I'm going to do some of my plants with a 2-liter system, which is where you pinch off. So for example, this has the true leaf right here. All these are true leaves, but I can pinch this off and it will create a 2-liter system where it'll be 2 vines coming off the one. I've not tried trellising those before, and I'm not sure if I have the right system for that, so I have not, because it does make a heavier plant, so I have not done this before. I'm doing some of them this year to see if the cages that I use can actually hold that much weight, having a 2-liter system. So for some people it works and many people love it, but I'm just not sure if I have the infrastructure to hold it. So I'm going to try that out with a few of them this year, because that basically makes 2 plants out of 1 plant. So I also, I guess you can see here, I did these ones last week, and you can actually see right here where the new stem is coming out, just barely. So right where I pinched it off last week is creating 2 separate vines that will come off. It's called the 2-liter system. Oh, a little bit of knowledge there for you. But I'll turn this around and let you see the rest of my plants I got going on. I am going to have to up-pot these really, really soon. So I'm actually going to have to go to the store to get something to up-pot these into, because I don't have anything right here available right now other than the cells, which is not big enough to up-pot in. The squash and zucchinis are just coming up because I only planted those at the beginning of last week, actually the week before, so they're just now coming up. And then I will also be direct sowing some directly into the garden, and I think I have to get out of here because it is so hot. I'm dying. I'm like dying in here. So I wish I had a thermometer in here, but I don't have that set up either, because if it's 80 outside, I guarantee you it's getting close to 100 in here, and it is hot. We're gonna continue planting our flowers for the front deck. Kylie is here, she's gonna help me. So basically we just took an old chicken trough, drilled holes in it. I use this thing every year, it's great. The only thing is because it is about 4 inches, you really want a pot that's more than 4. This is right at 4. I really have to watch it and make sure it stays moist throughout the summer, or things struggle. But if you use the potting mix that has fertilizer in it, that definitely helps. And then I will fertilize every 2 weeks, just to make sure that everything has enough nutrients and it stays gorgeous all summer. I also have 2 large pots here that I'm going to be using for herbs that we're going to keep up on the deck. Now I do have herbs and stuff I'm going to be putting in the garden as well, but it's always just fun to have a quick kitchen herb garden that you can just step right outside the kitchen, grab a few herbs and come right back inside. So I love having that readily available and quick. So I'll be doing a few things up here. I have 4 of these.
Oh, those are pretty.
These always remind me of the trees in Whoville, or in the Lorax, don't they? They look like
Yes,
Whoville
they do.
trees. other pot, I'm gonna plant chamomile. Great for teas. So I didn't have success last year with chamomile. I'm gonna try again. Last year we had the herbicide contamination in a lot of the soil, and I'm hoping that was my issue and it wasn't something else, because I'm gonna try again. And so I'm gonna spread these chamomile seeds in this pot up here, and then I'll save some for putting in a section of the garden. So hopefully with having 2 places, I'll have better success. I got these seeds from our local library. They had a seed exchange there. I was super excited when I found out about it. And they had drawers and drawers of seeds. So if you're looking for seeds and you want to start your own garden, that's a good place to get some options of some cool stuff. They also have like information from master gardeners where you can get help and ask questions, which I thought was really cool. I learned about that this week. So check your local library. They might have their own program for seeds and seed exchanges. At ours, you can get a total of 6 packets a day. So I could go back and get 6 more tomorrow if I wanted, which is awesome. And these ones are organic even. So that's a good option. Now, I do believe that cilantro is a colder weather crop that likes to bolt quickly in the heat. So that's actually why I'm doing them up here in the pot up by the house. So I can kind of hopefully control a little bit of how much sun it's getting, and hopefully keep it a little bit cooler if I need to. So that's why I chose to do the cilantro up here as opposed to being in the garden. And I also did chamomile up here in a pot to hopefully kind of baby it a little bit, because I have found that chamomile is a little bit temperamental for me. So I'm just gonna throw a few seeds in here and hopefully we'll get it going. Gavin is helping me right now get these in, and I wanted to show you guys what a good looking, this is a red onion right here. This is what it looks like. That I started it from seed. I had a whole tray of dirt and just scattered the seeds in there, and they all came up, and then you just pull them apart and plant them individually like this. Eee. So they're looking pretty good. They're a little bit small, but we got to get them in the ground. Oh, careful, honey.